So even before Tesla's big Cybertruck delivery event happening this Thursday, the excitement about the vehicle is going through the roof. With over 19 Tesla showrooms across the US and Canada featuring the Cybertruck, people started lining up to see it. Many are saying it reminds them of the good old days of Apple product reveals. This is a good sign that the vehicle will be a major hit for Tesla. Now, how much free advertising is this? Today, we're going to show you videos of the showrooms and also two previously unknown features about the truck that many haven't seen yet. We've got Jeff Lutz joining us. He is an ex-supply chain C-level executive. He worked at Motorola, Google, and Lenovo, and he's currently running his own consulting firm. Thank you so much, Jeff, for joining me.
Yeah, it's exciting, Herbert.
So your background is you were right there in the thick of things when you saw Apple and they were releasing products. You yourself were releasing your own mobile phone products as well with great fanfare. So we're back to that, right? Quite a bit of excitement. So let's share a little bit of what we're seeing here. We've got, basically that I think this is the most recent, but Brian White from My Tesla Weekend counted it. It's about 19 locations. And of course, it changes by the minute. Are you going to see it? Are you planning your own trip? So this is all the locations, and I'm going to be much more precise about that. But, they're all over New York, California. We've got a map to show you. It actually did show up in my own hometown here in Bellevue, Washington, very close to where I live. It's a number of locations. But what we're seeing here is quite a frenzy. Nicholas Gibbs, he also has his own YouTube channel called Investing Against the Grain. He tweeted this out, said, "My wife and I just got to the Tesla showroom in Tampa. There's a line. There are lines showing up. No, this isn't the Apple store. It's Tesla." And the reason I put that up is because Elon himself replied and said, "Cool." Now, this is the line itself. And let's just watch a quick video of what that looks like. And then you can reply to it. Oops. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a lineup around the actual store, but also line up to actually see the Cybertruck. What was your thoughts about the way that this is happening, Jeff?
Yeah, these products are once in a generation type products. You can't think of a vehicle that has had this kind of build up in fanfare and just really attracting these types of crowds. Remember, when you think of an iPhone or a mobile phone release, or these are devices that are $500 to $1,000, and this is arguably going to be something $50,000 plus. And you have that kind of attention and that kind of excitement around it. It just tells you it's a very special product. And we haven't heard, they've trickled out a few of the specs on the product, but we haven't heard everything. And this product's been under development for 4 years. I believe there's going to be some significant surprises that we hear around Thursday. When the event occurs. I've seen it in person. I saw it last year at a couple of the different Tesla events I went to. And it is, as people said, it's one thing to see the pictures or the videos. It's another thing to see it in person. It's stunning. The pictures and videos don't do it justice, and the pictures and videos look amazing. And, Tesla products look like the future. And people envision themselves, wanting to be, in stepping into the future. Everything else is going to look extremely different and have a different feel to it now that this product is out there.
So this is what's happening in Canada as well. So it's actually visually there as well. This is the lineup. So, I mean, this lineup thing is not just the US, not just a specific state, it's everywhere. And then if you continue on here, this is Joe Hansen saying that, and I've heard both, that it will be a total flop and that it didn't even exist. This is like an Apple-like event. So, and then let me just finish this off. Here's Mike, my friend from Tesla Northwest. And he took a video of what was happening in Bellevue, Washington. I'm going to go ahead and play this as we watch his video. But Jeff, tell me, again, the reception from this. Is this just the fans? Is this just Tesla investors? Or do you think this is going beyond that at this point?
Yeah, I think it's really going beyond that. and what it's doing is it's introducing people to other Tesla products while, the Cybertruck is in production. That you have Optimus there. You're seeing this transition from kind of a traditional looking vehicle. Even Tesla vehicles still they kind of stand the test of time. The Y, the 3, the Model S is the same body style essentially with minor updates for 10 years. And they designed vehicles that stand the test of time. And here you have Cybertruck stepping really into the future in terms of how vehicles may look. And again, we don't know how this will actually do in the marketplace, but from all the excitement and the pre-order volume, I'm thinking it's going to do very well. This is a special product. I was a big part of a special product in 2004, the Razr phone, which reminds me a lot of the Cybertruck because nobody used those materials, stainless steel, aluminum, magnesium, to build a mobile phone and to make it, the thinnest clam. Nobody folding phone. Nobody knew how to do those very well, and we had a special capability of being able to do that. And how do you route all that circuitry through the knuckles of the product and have it be reliable and have it be strong? And just when that Razr phone sat on the table, it made a statement for people. I think everybody remembers that they had that product back then. And Cybertruck reminds me of that. Any parking lot it rolls through, any valet it pulls up to, anywhere it is, it's gonna make any garage it's sitting. It's gonna consume all the conversation and really it's gonna be what everybody's talking about. And I think the special thing behind it, I think this is what you hear Elon talking about. Everybody's seen the form factor and they've seen it. It is better in person, but I think what Elon is most excited about is the actual functionality and the capability of the product, which people haven't really been exposed to yet. And that's what we're going to see in the unveil. So I actually think it gets better from here. Will there be YouTube people making videos like, oh, I saw this gap, or oh, I had this issue with my Cybertruck? Just like you see everything on social media, you hear everything and it gets amplified, or I had this one bad. Yes. But in general, I think for the most part, I think the best is yet to come with this vehicle. I think we're going to hear new things. I think we're going to be really surprised.
So first of all, I love what you said, because the Razr is something I do remember that is just so different when it came out than any other phone out there. Of course, you and I know that I'm an iPhone guy, but I'm just saying, even the Razr itself was very different.
It wasn't out then. So Razr was the thing.
It came out before, and it was very, very successful. And that's exactly what I'm seeing here too. So I at this point, it's very unlikely that the Cybertruck will not be successful. I wanted to just ask you the question though, because of your experience. This truck looks amazing. Look at this. And I'm hearing from everybody who's been there, watching it, looking at it in real time. All my friends who've actually seen it. I'm going to see it today. I've seen it already before, but the build quality is apparently flawless at this point. Just amazing millimeter difference. Do you think that some people are saying, oh, those are the showrooms, they're just sending you the best that they have to the showrooms? Or do you think that it's maybe a sign that, this is it, they figured it out and they're on their way? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't know yet to say if they quote unquote figured it out. I think we would see them at scale faster. So I don't know. I do know from doing this before, and the industries have changed on this back and forth. You used to do, incomplete models for the stores, but now these are real vehicles in the store. And I'm just kind of transitioning back to the mobile phone world. You do want to put your best foot forward. You do want to put your best product out there. But I do think that through time that they've obviously improved the process and improved process capability. And as they continue to do that, you're going to see more and more, you see better product out there. One more, I think interesting story for people to just, again, compare this to another product. When we were developing the Razr product, we did not show it to anybody. and it was under close grasp, whereas the Cybertruck's been kind of exposed and out there in pre-orders and so forth. And internal to the company, it was so different and it was so difficult to build in the beginning. We only had a lifetime volume projection of about 400,000 units for the lifetime of the Razr phone. That means we built a supply chain, we put capacity at suppliers. We're just going to do, a couple thousand per week. It's a higher end phone. Back then, there weren't smartphones, so selling a phone for $500 was a lot for people, and there wasn't this kind of the subsidies that you see now happening from the carriers. That's the other thing to be aware of. Anyway, long story short, we ended up doing about 170 million over the lifetime of the product. We originally planned 400K. As soon as we launched a product, everything sold out. As soon as we restocked the shelves, everything sold out. My team, we immediately got the orders to double capacity in the next quarter. And then we got the orders again to double capacity in the following quarter and then double it again. We were doubling as quickly as we possibly could. We ended up building 4 different supply chains to feed all the factories. And we ended up bringing up more factories on the product. This was just going to be one small supply chain, one factory, niche product. Let's see how it goes. Reminds me a little bit of how the Cybertruck is being thought of, even though Tesla's, is advertising that they're going to put about 250,000 units of capacity in. I don't think they know the real demand, and nor are they claiming they know the real demand until they see the order conversion. But I do think that they're going to get surprised to the upside. I do think that a lot of people will want this product, and I've called this a recession buster before. It will be a recession buster. People will open the pocketbook and they will figure out a way to stretch and get the product.
Okay. I want to ask you, great explanation there. I do believe that what you described is going to happen. I want to ask you what's going to happen to all this free advertising. So we saw this rush of people going to the showrooms. There's people that are driving from, an hour away to go to the showroom to see it for the first time. And then they're taking photos of it and they're going to share this. And then, I'm going to show some more new features that we haven't even heard about. First of all, this is the black matte. I just think it's gorgeous. It's better than the stainless steel. And I just want to show that because that's the one I'm going to get for sure. Now I'm going to share 2 new features. I don't know if this has been, confirmed, but here's a video of it actually happening that people haven't heard yet. And this is one, is there's a wake up light sequence. And then 2, when you arrive, it's going to be sitting low. And then when you sit in it, it goes up to the medium height. So let's go watch that as we're talking. But this is amazing if this is the case. So do we see the light sequence? I don't think we saw it. Did we?
Just the very end of it.
And then so he sits in, it's low, and then it rises. Oh.
Yeah. And the key there is the speed of it.
Yeah.
Obviously it's high now. That's the key. Typical air suspensions can take, a decent amount of time for it to get the height. Whereas this one, it's literally jumps in, puts it in gear, and it's up where he wants it in a matter of seconds. So I think the key there is the speed. And then it's going to be this focus on consumer friendly, easy to step into, easy to step out of. And that light sequence in the beginning, that's a great thing. It's basically the LEDs are very prominent in the center and then they kind of fan out. And that'll be iconic for the product. That'll be something you think about when you see the front of the product, is that sequence. These are kind of the things I think they'll continue to expose and show as we get closer to the event.
So these are like small details, but they allow people to talk about them, word of mouth marketing. What do you think about this free advertising? This looks like it's going to be quite the bit of advertising.
We saw this too. Yeah, we saw this too in the mobile phone when we put Razr out there. All of our other products got uplift that were sitting next to Razr, because what would happen is father would go into the store and say, I'm getting a Razr. I need to have this phone. And their adolescent child or the wife or whatever, maybe they didn't want a Razr, or they couldn't afford 2 Razrs, so they got it was buy that and then look at these other and then get those phones. So we saw a lift in all the other products, and I think that's going to happen with Tesla as well. They're putting this new UI in the Cybertruck. I think it looks great. I think it matches the whole design, industrial design flow of the product. But I do think they'll carry some of those elements back to the other product. And again, they're all Teslas basically. So in the showroom, they're going to be showing the Cybertruck. They're going to see it and say, oh, by the way, a lot of the components that are inside of the Cybertruck are in these other Teslas here, and they drive. The Cybertruck drives as like an amazing truck. These drive as amazing sedans and crossovers. You should try them out. So I think you'll definitely get uplift, and the advertising will be outside of the showroom. It'll be when people are driving the car, be like, well, what is that?
If the Cybertruck is considered to be the hero product, because we've heard Elon say this is going to be the most technology advanced product Tesla's ever made, and it looks so different than anything else, it's got to be perfect. If people see the build quality, they see the technology, then they're going to assume that all the other Teslas will have the same quality and build. But if they see that the Cybertruck is poorly built, then they may transfer that still to the Model Y and Model 3, because it's the thing many new consumers who've never seen a Tesla yet, that's going to be the one that wakes them up. So I want to ask you this, which is, when we first started the show, we showed the 19 locations of the showrooms, and we don't know yet if they're continuing to add. But this is just a beautiful map where it says, okay, here's the states, the green. These are the states with a Cybertruck on display in one of the showrooms. Anything here that strikes out to you? I mean, it looks to me like it kind of like there's really no pattern here. I mean, it's, in the East Coast and the West Coast, there's a couple, folks, states in the middle. Any thoughts on what their strategy might be?
Yeah, I don't know if I see a trip. I mean, if I saw all the southern states filled in, I know some of those states don't allow direct to consumer sales. So that may be, it's almost like some of these states should be a different color. Like, do they even allow Teslas, for direct to consumer sale? But yeah, I don't know if I see a huge pattern. I mean, you want to hit population center, Chicago, the major cities in California, Texas, Florida. I mean, those make sense. They may be doing it by volume sales. Washington does, I think, they have the second highest sales of EVs, I think, are in the state of Washington. So it may be, there may be a number of factors involved. I think I think it's just a process, and they're literally in transit, coming to multiple states.
Okay, wonderful. So this Thursday, we're going to see the Cybertruck delivery event. You're going to be physically there, so you're going to report on the ground, tell us what's going on. Be curious to see if they do make announcements of anything new that we haven't heard yet. There's some rumors now. So right now, we don't know the price. We don't know the range. We don't know the battery size, right? So these things are still to be revealed. I know that there was some comment from somebody that says, I talked to the sales manager and they told me the battery size. But we don't know if that's, anything real at this point. So we'll wait till we get confirmation.
Yeah, and we don't know the performance at that battery size. I think a lot of people are making assumptions. Right. Remember, we have the new 48-volt architecture. So it'll be interesting to see how it performs. But yeah, I would take everything you unless you see like a physical picture of something like that you can corroborate. Yeah. I would just, I would wait for the events in 72 hours or so from now. So we'll see it soon.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, great today. It seems like it's on its way. Just like the Model 3 Highland was very well accepted, and then now we're seeing the sales skyrocketing. This looks like it's headed in the right direction as well. Very exciting. Thank you, Jeff. Follow Jeff on X at @the Jeff Lutz. Appreciate you. See you soon.